Corner, another video game podcast. My name is Harrison. You might know me online as Rix, and I'm joined, as always, by friends and co-hosts.
Rowan, you might know me as Milka, and I'm joined by...
This is Sheldon. You probably know me as Captain Unova.
That was you normally have something else, Rowan.
Just not in it.
That's fair.
It's the off season.
It is.
It is, unfortunately.
Yes, we're done. Stunzo. Yeah. So NAIC was a couple weeks ago. We 2/3 of us went to that, and then 1/3 of us did well in that.
None of us did well in that.
You did well.
You went positive.
Which is
you went
not
positive.
Great. Still, sorry. For reference, I needed a top 256 finish for World's Invite, and I bubbled out. So
Yeah.
very little disappointed with that, honestly. Kind of like wanted to take a break from the game after that a little bit. I think that wanting results so much kind of poisons your enjoyment of anything. And
Sure.
They're restarting the season next month, so I don't really get to.
Wait, what?
Yeah, July is when locals start.
Yeah, that's when the locals for next season.
For next season? Oh, I didn't
Yep.
see that at all. Oh, I'm not sure I'm gonna go. I was gonna wait till after Worlds. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
It's looking like the first regional is going to be in September even.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not particularly shocked by that, but I kind of figured, right, so Worlds is in August, like the third weekend of August.
Mm-hmm.
So the first regional in September isn't that surprising.
Yeah, but
I would
we'll
not
have locals. We'll have locals in July and August for the 2025 season.
Wow, I think that's shocking. But maybe that's just me also wanting to not play this game for a little bit.
Yeah, it's interesting. They're probably not good. Nobody really knows too much. We're going entirely off of like emails sent to tournament organizers who have made
where that came
they've been
from?
given public. Yeah, we're switching over to the TCG structure, which is less CP payouts, and locals have to be associated with a specific game store. So like, most people will probably have less locals available to them, and the ones you do have will pay out less.
Which is just terrible.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it's not great. My all tinfoil hat stuff, because you never know what Big Pikachu's thinking, but like, it's I feel like they bumped up the CP requirement to 500 to try to like lower the amount of Worlds qualifiers, to make it like a smaller, like big tournament at the end. I don't know. They clearly go all out for Worlds, so like making it cheaper for themselves is probably smart. But then, like I saw in Canada, right? Like the Canadian scene also had to do 500 points, just like we did, and they got around. But it's very expensive to travel internationally, and the way they got around that was just by having a ton of locals. The way this is working now, because each TO has to be 1-to-1 with a store.
Which is also wild to me.
It means that you can never do something like the Quad MSS I went to ever again. That can't happen because it was all in the same venue. They'd have to find 4 local game shops within the same general radius.
You also weren't at a game shop.
Yeah, we were at a college, so they couldn't even host a single one in that venue again.
Right.
It'll have to be yeah. So not really the best changes. Like it doesn't suit like. It's not the worst thing for the Georgia scene because we only do our locals in game stores anyway, but still the payout's worse, which is unfortunate. Assuming that they go with, like, they change the name to Cups and Challenges, the same as TCG. Cups are MSSs and Challenges are PCs effectively, but they pay out 10, like anywhere from 10 to 15 points less, depending on which one of those.
So, okay. I'm going to play for a moment Devil's Avocado. And I'm going to say that if it's not official yet,
it is official.
Could change.
It is literally sent out in emails to TOs. You must be associated with a card game store.
They just haven't put it out to public yet.
Yeah, there hasn't been a press release, but it is sent out in emails. Like there are tons of TOs now who say like
maybe they let it. They're just letting it leaks to gauge feedback. So they got.
And then they'll change it.
Maybe they'll just change their mind, but I seriously doubt it. It's more like there are lots of TOs who have just flat out said, "I guess I'm not doing tournaments anymore."
Because if
I don't have a game store to
Yeah, if you don't have a game store, or if you and another TO were sharing a game
one,
store.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why would that be?
It's apparently how TCG's always done it. Yeah, I don't know.
That still doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Right? Like, just
Right? That benefits the game stores at least for that, because you're there, you're probably going to buy cards, play mats, sleeves.
Yeah, well, that's the other big thing, right? Is that if you have game stores have no incentive to allow VG there. Like the ones that we have are just nice enough, I guess. Like we all buy things, like we buy food from them, and I'll try to buy a board game or something when I'm there. But for the most part, we are worth nothing, less than nothing to them. We are actively a detriment. We take space that people who could be buying booster packs could be taking.
So the Florida scene, at least the Central Florida scene that I go to, won't be affected. Like same deal. We use a card shop in Orlando. It is strictly a card shop. Like there's nothing else there. No board games. No like D&D books, supplemental books, or anything. It's just card games. Yu-Gi-Oh, Lorcana, Pokemon, obviously, Digimon, like all this. Okay, cool. The owner is great. He's really cool. So like he does that. But I don't understand. Like I want listeners, watchers, if you guys go to locals that aren't at, like often are not at a game store, right? The Quad MSS you went to, Rowan, I think was a one-off thing, right? Maybe I'm wrong.
They wanted it to not be a one-off. The guy was talking about wanting to do 10 in a row or something crazy, which
it's a super cool kind of venue and stuff, though. So I mean, that's...
well, you can't do that kind of thing anymore unless you can shove that kind of stream setup into a card game shop. Which why would they ever? Not
like that. It is. I am. Shout out to TJ, the TO here in Central Florida. Like he carts several grand worth of equipment, if not more, to do streams. It's impressive. Cool. And
if anything like that is going to happen, it has to be entirely grassroots. It has to be someone bringing their stuff there, because there's no reason for a card shop to have that stuff on hand, right? Like it's never going to be part of the venue.
Now that would be a cool card shop, though. If you have a whole esports section, you could rent out computers for people to go play like League and stuff. And
different business model, though, right? And
oh, for sure,
yeah. I don't know, like where else. Let us know where else a local is. That's not a GameStop. Not GameStop. Game shop.
Now that'd be wild and like nostalgic feeling like at a GameStop.
No.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm in like full. I don't know, like conspiracy theory, tinfoil hat kind of things. Like we don't really make them much money, any money.
No.
From what I've heard, like VG is actually a money hole for the Pokemon company. Like the entry fees only total like 50 grand or something like that. Like probably. The cost of hosting the convention center is insanely high. Like it's many times higher than the entry fees they're getting from VG players. So like the only thing that we ostensibly bring them is like if we buy a lot of merch, which like maybe at NAIC, but for the most part, I think it's pretty well understood that all the merch at regular regionals is like
it's all third party anyway. At regionals, they don't have TPC.
Yeah, exactly. So they're not making money off of that. You're 100% right. So like, I think
we bring more views.
Hole. No, we don't. We get so few views. We like there.
Really?
I mean, we get more than TCG, but like a few thousand people, like random hot tub streamers get more than that. Like,
I mean, that's fair. We're not,
but it's still the top. For Pokemon, it's the top.
Sure, but who cares? Like the point is
my
them
next
making
question
money, right?
The top of a niche.
I also don't know if it's if that's monetized.
There may or may not be ads. I don't know. I assume there are ads. I usually watch on YouTube where I have premium, so I have no idea if the Twitch stream is monetized. But I assume it would be. There's no reason they wouldn't.
Even if they don't run ads, I'm sure.
Even if it is, what are they? They're making absolute pocket change. Like the biggest media franchise in the world does not care about the Twitch revenue off of 5,000 concurrent viewers. They simply don't.
Not wrong about that.
That's probably very true.
That's why they just need to give us microtransactions or something in game to spend money to
some way to monetize this. Sure, yeah, because like
buy resources.
We get less viewers than StarCraft did on Justin.tv in 2010. Like we're tiny. So anyway, my tinfoil hat thing is that they real like it's getting too big now. Like 1,000-person regionals, you either have to scale up to handle that, or you have to like purposely put a clamp down on the scene and make it smaller and make it so only the best actually go to Worlds. And at some I don't know. It probably
it's a way to kill the
very
scene,
expensive
though.
for them. Yeah, but I mean, do they care, right? Like, at some point, because you kind of have to respect.
I've always
where
felt that they
everything
didn't
came.
care.
You respect where it came from, right? Like, I feel like VG has been going on for so long because it is like where it all started, right? Like, there would be no competitive Pokemon period if it wasn't for VG. But like, cards were not that far behind, and at some point,
like 97 or something like that. So like 2 years after
a couple
video
years
game,
tops, right?
Like,
so like at some point, is it even worth it for them? Does anyone is there a large if you killed off VGC tomorrow, if they just made the very unpopular move to say we're not supporting this anymore, and if you put on your own tournaments, we'll sue you, like literally kill it dead tomorrow, they would still sell 20 million copies of Gen 10.
Yes,
because we're still probably going to buy it just because we like the video game too. So
there would like the number of people who choose to boycott Gen 10 out of spite would be like in minuscule. The hundreds. Like, I doubt it would even hit 1,000 people, like that level, right? So would I don't know. At some, it wouldn't surprise me if they're like purposely trying to scale down the scene at this point.
So I had to fact check myself. The NAIC views, we did not get more views than TCG. TCG actually had more.
Wild, yeah.
See,
193,000 versus 216,000 for day one.
I feel like
total, not concurrent. Okay.
Yeah, that's total views on the live VOD. I mean, I can also look at some of the videos that
I feel like TCG should though, because their player base is actually
it's huge.
TCG is big, but VG is fun to watch.
Experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have pretty pixels that move.
I mean, I've watched,
pretty, but they do move.
Oh, fair enough. We have pixels that move, unlike cardboard.
Hey, they flick that cardboard around, man.
And fidgeting players.
Yeah, I don't know. A little bit doomer, and honestly, I'm like probably still bummed a couple weeks out. So like a little bit of spite coming out here, but I don't know. Like this the whole new system doesn't. It seems
doesn't seem smart.
It seems like purposefully antagonistic, right? Like they're trying to scale things down a bit.
Yeah, which is it's a shame because I feel like it was going in such a big direction, catching on.
They definitely had the option to make it something huge, right? Like if you have, we don't know how big a major could get because
it's always limited by hardware,
capped by the number of docks. Like they literally can't buy enough hoary plastic stands to accommodate the number of people who want to play at all these events.
Which is baffling.
We have no idea how big it could get. It could maybe match TCG, honestly, if you allowed everybody who wants to register.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Which I just don't like. I don't like scaling it down. Like I don't care. Like it's one thing cool to watch some of the good players, but I like seeing new players pop up that you don't see on stream, but maybe once before, just brand new people coming up in there in top 8 of a regional out of nowhere.
Like and I feel like no fun, gotta make money. Like the view is why would they support that? What motivation do they have? Like
it's a shame, but that's the I don't know, like the model they built.
That's the world we're gonna see, right? We
hopefully we're wrong. Maybe they're changing the name to cups and challenges, and like nothing else is changing. I don't know, but
the 1-to-1 thing still seems funky, nonetheless, right? Like even if like some places aren't affected by it, it still is just why do that?
Well, why make things harder?
Yeah, because they're already hard enough. Like I mean, you think like Latin America, some of these other places they get like one regional a year, right?
So then you have these, just continuing to limit the local scene, like why? Like even if it's not necessarily for the effect of making enough points to go to World just in locals, still doing anything to harm the scene just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
to me,
because it's already hard enough, but also at the same time, like if you just throw a ton of money at playing this like a season, there's a good chance you can make Worlds if you're a decent enough player to just get points every time. Like it can just be a money, like grind and not pay to win, but pay to get points almost, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's like
we try to get points. No, like
Yeah.
I wouldn't have gotten any of those Canada points if I hadn't paid the money to go to it, and a lot of people couldn't do that,
Yeah.
right? Or take the time out work to do that. But
Yeah.
like,
Right.
I just don't like that vibe it kind of gives off, just because it excludes so many people.
That is inherent to any game that you have to play in person, right? Until they can make it happen online, you have to pay to play the game. Like that is life. Like you have to pay to do most things in life. Like there's
money can't buy happiness, but it can buy you the things to allow you to be happy.
Like the best soccer player in the world might be starving to death in a village somewhere, right? But like you got to pay to enter leagues and make your way up and all that. Like,
yep, capitalism,
yeah. We're trying to break that here, okay? Pokemon can start. We could all start with Pokemon, but no.
Let's ask the biggest media corporation in the world to break capitalism.
The corporation that beat out Disney. Disney.
Good luck to you.
Yeah.
They will sue you just for considering that. Like,
like they're so weird. Like they do this like with like weird stuff, I feel like, but it's also genius kind of stuff too, like throughout their whole thing, like the Pokemon centers. They could pop those things up in every city in the US and they would still sell like crazy, but you wouldn't get the hype like they create now whenever one pops up somewhere.
It's because the brand recognition and the suckers like the three of us who just love this brand for some godforsaken reason, it's because it's really good marketing, right?
Yeah. And it's
like, that's all it is.
Like at some point,
I guess right now it is.
You wouldn't have been tripping over yourself to get a Fuecoco plush if you could have gotten it online, right?
Yeah.
I
mean, you didn't get it anyway, but that's also part of it.
I'm still sad. I don't understand that. The Fuecoco Squishmallow, I was so excited for. Couldn't get it. It's not mine.
Yeah, it's just a shame they, I feel like they could, like, they'd still make all the money in the world if they put a Pokemon Center in every major city in the US. Like,
major city makes more sense. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's not online yet, so I'm very sad. I will continue.
It's all about the brand. You gotta cultivate the sense of like something special.
Urgency.
You can't have it unless you like really go out of your way to get it. Like,
screw that. Just give it to me.
That's why people are still going nuts for this stuff 25 years later. Like,
that's true.
They were giving out Muse by link cable in a Toys R Us. Like,
right. Yeah, so they started this whole plan in 1995.
Yeah, no, like they've been monetizing FOMO literally since before that was a term like that.
Speaking of monetizing FOMO, your Dragonite Squishmallow that I see in the background,
it's pretty cool.
Is sold out online. Still.
Yeah, I had to pre-order that. The pre-order is sold out within 30 minutes.
Take that thing to eBay.
Case in point, yeah.
Literally, the 3 Squishmallows that I'd want right now online are all sold out, so I'm big sad. Anyway, which is, of course, Snorlax, Gengar, and Dragonite. As Fuecoco's not there. But I saw people with the belly balls. Anyway, I want to stop rambling.
You could have broken open the display case, just punched through the glass and grabbed it. That's really on you. You didn't want it enough, is the real thing.
I was tempted. You
didn't really care about playing the next day. You could have done it and run. Like, you think the cops are actually going to track you down for stealing a stuffed animal?
Or stealing a $30.
They got way bigger things to worry about.
It's not the cop you have to worry about. It's Pikachu coming for you. Like
the glass case to break that is more expensive than the Squishmallow.
100%. Yeah, no, it was like a guy in a Pikachu costume is going to show up at the Airbnb with a bat. Like,
okay. I don't have it. What was the deal with those Pikachu bear figurines that they gave us?
Oh yeah,
it is terrifying to look at. I wish I had it.
Uncanny Valley. Yeah.
If I remember to put a picture of it here, I'll do that in editing. At 18ish minutes.
The answer is I could not tell you.
Why was that? I've someone tell me, please. But yeah. Hey, I have a question for y'all. Do we have anything positive to say? We've been so negative for like 20 minutes.
I mean, we can talk about NAIC. I thought the teams that finished high up in that were very cool.
Yeah,
we had a freaking Overquill in 8th place. So like, you can't.
What the heck? Hold on, I didn't even look at this yet.
Yeah, no, I've been once they announced that I'd have to play more rank G. I started watching these matches. Yeah.
I watched the stream, so So
I actually have come to the conclusion that I think rank G is a very fun format to watch and utterly miserable to play.
I believe that. I
for the reason it makes it fun to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly, because you're on the
But
edge
when
of your
you're
seat
not
all
the
the
one
time, like, what is
stressing
going to
about it.
happen? Yeah, no, exactly. Like,
I think it's
skill
a
issue,
solid
I'm sure,
format
but
in the end. Like
yeah.
at the end of the day, I think it's actually a very solid format because it is a, this counters this, and
Yeah,
then
well,
the
it's
meta
very-
shifts,
it's
and
very
this counters
balanced.
this. Yeah,
It's very balanced, but I think it's also extremely polarized. Like,
I think the polarization is what makes it
because
kind of a problem.
I'm still looking forward to dual restricted. I think that
Yeah.
single restricted is an inherent, like, for the same reasons we talked about when G started, right? And there are ways
Yeah.
to handle your bad matchups, like very cool ways, and like the team building around this format has been insane. But ultimately, like, yeah, single restricted is just inherently flawed. Like, you are still protecting your king all the time, and if their king beats your king, then you like are at a disadvantage. Like,
Yeah.
you better hope that your team has a check for their thing, and it may or may not, because they might have something wacky. Like, that was something I realized about I was looking back at my notes on what I did badly at NAIC, and like, I prepped matchups specifically really hard, and every time I hit a regular team with a regular matchup, I stomped all over them. And every time I hit something weird, something I didn't account for, someone with like very specific anti-Maridon stuff, was just kind of throw up my hands, like, what do I do here? And it's like, 'cause I didn't prep for that, I had no idea. Like, there's a very little like generic good stuff that works here. You have to, like,
There's a lot
everything's
going
so
on.
powerful, you have to have checks for those specific things.
oh yeah,
I do think that as we've gone through this regulation so far, and we will be the first to admit we have a bad habit of saying, "Wow, that looks like a Regulation F team, doesn't it?" Right? Especially towards the end when it centralizes a lot. But Reg G hasn't necessarily centralized the same way. And while obviously we can say, "Wow, that looks like a Regulation G team" because there's one restricted, it is fun to see that it's not all the same teams, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're all very different. The team building here is very
So I'd like to say, like,
across the
crucial.
board.
if
Yeah.
you look at the top 8 in this tournament, you had 2 Ice Riders, 2 Kyogres, a Maridon, a Shadow Rider, and 2 Terapagos. Like, very, very like varied. Like, I think people saw Kyogre as like the very edge of viable, and 2 of them are in top cut. Like,
Yeah.
clearly it's pretty good, right?
and
And you have it being played in different ways, like Mystic Water Terra Ghost on one of them with a Volcarona support, and then the other one is Screens AV with Wo Chen. Like, pretty wild, actually. Like,
Yeah.
you can play that stuff so cool, so differently. Yeah, the Overquill in 8th place too is like
Wow.
having this
That's
crazy
cool.
Life Orb, Swift Swim.
It just
like,
that's just to get rid of Shadow Riders. That's
yeah,
what that thing's there
it's
for.
got super fast crunch, like
Crunch and then
but
gunk shot for the
yeah,
Terra
but
Fairy.
acid spray is actually very cool too. You have fast acid spray to make it so the water spout just
yeah.
melts anything, right?
Oh, yeah, good point.
You effectively turn anything into a fire type and then water spout it.
It's cool to see things like that work though.
It is, and the fact that someone was able to, like, think about it, build around it, and
Yeah,
you know,
Scarf Lando
bring it.
Eye on a Kyogre team is actually brilliant. You get you get fast Sansear Storm that always hits, and then you it's like,
Then
guess
water
what? Guess
spout.
what Maridon really doesn't want to see is that
Yeah.
specifically.
Huh. That is really cool. But yeah, so what else do we see here on regulation top 8? I continue to be sad now that I didn't bring the fish. And the highest Koridon is in 18th place, which is fine. But that's okay. Not me. I'm
Good.
also pleased that a Ditto is in the top 8. Because I always feel like
your bird won again.
Yeah.
Isn't it won multiple?
and my bird won it.
Pelipper, yeah. And it's really funny. We're talking about how Reg G is so varied, but first place is the most standard Reg G team ever. It's literally Instant Boom Urshifu with Bolt, Pelly, and Galii. Like, this is the team that like was running around ladder literally when Reg G started.
Yeah,
that's true.
It all comes
that is a very
full circle.
Yeah.
That is, if we're to say that's a Reg G team, that's fair. That is a Reg G team.
Literally this, but they had, like, most of them had a Moongus over Rillaboom, but that is it. Like, there's literally nothing different.
I'm trying to get him to stay. There we go. Yeah, the fact that Pelipper is an international champion makes me very happy.
But yeah, we are seeing cool trends. Screens is becoming real. Grimmsnarl is like taking its place again. Is like good in restricted formats. We weren't sure if it was going to be like still good after Dynamax is gone, but it is. It's pretty great.
I mean, Prankster screens and then everything else it does.
You put Prankster screens next to a bulky restricted like Terapagos or Kyogre, and suddenly like you have a real hard time removing that. Smeargles really come up. Like it goes well next to both horses actually. Like if you get to like fake out Follow Me Spore on the same Mon is actually just wild, and the amount of like utility stuff. I've been seeing Decorate Smeargles next to Cali I, Wide Guard Smeargles with Cali S. Like
it's like you can run anything on it.
Yep, yeah, exactly. Like, the gimmick is great. Like
even though I was convinced that Smeargle just doesn't have the stats to really hold up.
Focus Sash.
But Focus Sash kind of fixes that for a turn, but that's enough sometimes.
Yeah, that's all you need to click Spore or Fake Out or Follow Me or Decorate. Like,
yeah.
If you sacrifice your Smeargle so that your Mon has a weakness policy that consistently procced, like that's pretty good.
Yeah, that is very fair, unfortunately.
And because of how good like Trick Room stuff is, that Smeargle is probably faster than like a ton of really relevant Mons. You just get to like you can just click Spore with no one stopping you. Like you can click Decorate with no one stopping you, and suddenly like you get to just bowl over a whole team.
Yeah, fair point.
Yeah, that's all it can do, but it's good at it.
Yeah.
Then Moody does weird things.
Moody is also the fact that like that's doing well, even though it's such a gamble, is fun. But like it's a gamble that still always goes up, pretty much
until it doesn't.
But even when it doesn't, like it's you're not gonna. I don't know. I mean, yes, there is I guess the chance you always lose defense or something, right? Like, but for the most part, you're gonna kind of gradually go up if your Smeargle stays on the board for more than a turn.
Oh yeah.
I think the other thing coming up is Iron Hands is being used outside of Maridon teams like pretty consistently now. Like before, like obviously having Quark Drive on Iron Hands is insane. You basically have another restricted Mon.
You finally get an ability on it.
Yeah. Like you have AV and Life Orb effectively on this thing, and its stats are monstrous. Like it's really really good. But people are just like it's on a Terapagos team, it's on a Cali I team. Like it's great into opposing Maridon, but people are realizing that even if you don't have the Quark Drive, the thing just beats Terapagos. Like if you have AV hands clicking Brain Punch, right? So like that is really coming up. The other thing is just 7 of the 8 teams have an Urshifu on it. Like no matter how creative we're getting, like
it's hard to get away from what's good.
Urshifu is just stupidly good. Like it's never not going to be.
I understand what you're saying right now, but the levity of the situation is that Victor Road put the Overquill in the same column as the Urshifu, and that is amazing to me. Because it almost fits. But yeah, no, the fact that they're not all the same, right?
No, 2 of them are single, 6 of them and 5 of them are rapid.
Okay, that I think I kind of thought that single was on the rise more than rapid.
I think single is way more niche. Like you need a very specific.
You see it on Trick Room
spot for it. Yeah,
that's pretty much it.
So not entirely. So rapid is still the king Urshifu.
I think so. Yeah. With Dynamax gone, the multi-hit thing is very very strong, and there's like if you're not running Kyogre, there still isn't a lot of competition for water type damage. Like Pelipper's fine, it's not Urshifu. Like and
never seen a
Pelipper and Urshifu together on a team, right? Like a first place team certainly did. Like
and we don't ever see Ogerpon at all anymore, hardly.
Ogre water is kind of fallen off. Like it is on some teams. It's not dead, but it's I think you have to scroll quite a way before you see one.
I think its stocks will probably go up more the better Kyogre is.
Yeah, so dual restricted will probably mean more Kyogre, which will probably lead to more Ogre, right? Because
I don't know how to team build for dual restricted right now because like I need more team spots. Like
because when Kyogre is good, it's really, really good, even in single restricted. But when it falls flat in matchups, it's just like you almost don't have the restricted period.
Yeah.
And
if you get worn out by something,
it's just not consistent enough in my mind, at least. Like people have clearly found ways to make it work. Like 2 of them are in cut, but like the second you have a second restricted to cover its weaknesses, I think it'll be everywhere. I think you can even get away with running it with Scarf. like, because you're not depending on it entirely.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that'll be fun to pilot, not to be against.
Yeah, I'm very excited for Duel Restricted. We got a
Bring
few
your
more
white
months to go
guards.
though. It's literally not until September, so you got 3 months until that happens.
Reg G is forever, and then Reg
Reg H is gonna be a year, so like maybe make the most of it. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm wondering how much I need to go that way.
Yeah. So the other big story of the weekend was Alex Underhill and Audie. Got top 16 and 64 respectively with an Electabuzz on their team, which I thought was really neat. And it's pretty cool because you have like it has decent bulk, it has pretty good bulk with Eviolite, and then just like it is a great support on like follow me, taunt, feint, volt switch, right? Like it gets to be bulky redirection, it gets to taunt out it has Vital Spirit as an ability, so it has like built-in can't be spored or slept or sung or whatever. You get to taunt those things, you get to feint things, so like you make your Trick Room count with Kali-I, like they don't get to protect and you just get to or wide guard you just glacial lance them, like it's pretty good.
That was very neat.
Yeah. I do like when people start to find like places for cool bumps like that. And like Michael Zhang just got out of top 16, but he brought a Tyranitar, which has not been
where's that thing been?
Yeah.
That's the wrong kind of weather.
But it does work with Zamazenta like pretty well. So
Focus Sash T-Tar.
Yeah. So it was actually pretty speedy as a result, right? So
nice.
Ooh.
I like it though.
That is cool. It is a fun team. I like I just for flavor, I like it when Latios do well. Just because I never see them, and they weren't in last games.
Latios being I thought it was a cute pick that people did early on with Zamazenta, but I wasn't going to like really stand the test of time. It has just become like a de facto really good partner next to Zamazenta. Like it has some pretty like significant synergy. Like levitate with a ground beat restricted is pretty good. Like killing a Mungus is really nice. It means that you don't have to go with Terra Grass. Like these Zamas are going Dragon now. Like pretty cool all around. Like having Latios, Moltres, Galar, and Tyranitar like being a high ranking D2 team is just pretty crazy.
I like seeing Galarian Moltres too.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah, and Black Glass's stab foul play really, really hurts Ice Rider, which is great because that is the mon that Zamazenta. Actually, no, that's weird, actually, right? Because Zama loves fighting against Ice Riders, so yeah, it's just a lot of.
It's just good damage into any physical.
Yeah, and then and of course Shadow Rider, of course, too. Is
Fiery Wrath just blows up a lot of things.
Yep. Very fun. So, with 3 more months of this, we have plenty still options to like, see, play, pick up a team and go. If you want to play locals, if you actually want to play ladder for whatever reason, or if you're going to World, you can go play in the open, I suppose. But
or you're playing grassroots stuff like the
Grassroots,
Malamar and Inkay Games.
Shout out to the Malamar and Inkay Games. Shout out to the Chaos League. Also, right, friend of the show, Casey, who runs it. That is really cool that y'all continue to do that. So there's plenty other options for grassroots and online things if you want to go play. Because the game's still here, at least for now. And
but it's fun doing the fun stuff with the games too, though.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Especially when a regulation goes on for so long, you gotta do something different.
Yeah, like the Inkay and Malamar games, like that's fun, right? Completely new prompts, new ways to team build, and just a fun little form to be in. That's not a single day, which is nice. Yeah. So on that note, Sheldon.
Yes.
You and I are playing Inkay Games.
We are.
Not against each other, at least not yet. We're in different pods, which is great.
Yeah, I was worried about that. I was like, oh,
I was too. So until we get out of the pods, it's great. So at some point in the next week or two, we might start having Inkay game videos on the channel. Is that
pretty cool? Yeah,
I'll be playing Carter from Little Roots.
Little Lessons, yes.
Yes, for my first match.
I'm playing another Florida boy, actually. It's fun.
But I'm supposed to be playing him, so this comes out on Thursday. I should be playing him Thursday night. I'm going to try and stream it. If not, I'll just record it. But
at least record. Hey, Sheldon. Hey,
make sure it works
Sheldon?
before I do it.
Yeah. Please test your recording setup.
Yes,
please. Thank you. Unlike the last time.
Something else. Oh God, I was so mad.
Yeah, and now look, it's been months later. And do it again. Test it, please.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
If you don't want to edit it, I'll edit it. Just please do something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of Florida boy, I did forget. Patrick won NAIC. He's a Florida boy. Shout out to him. That's just another really good player that I'm gonna see in locals now. The Florida scene is actually stacked, and I'm scared.
Right. Yeah, y'all gotta.
I mean, the state's pretty big, right? Is he actually near you?
I think he's Central Florida, because there's really like, there's the Central Florida. There's a South Florida scene too. And I think there's like a Jacksonville, North Florida scene. So there is kind of like 3 separate scenes, but a lot of the people go between North and Central a lot. Not me, I'm too lazy. So I imagine I will see him in Orlando.
Good luck.
Yeah. Yeah. So y'all want to like talk about other games?
Yeah,
sure.
I don't have anything, unfortunately, too new to talk about. I've been on that Paper Mario train. The Nintendo Direct today was pretty cool, though.
Oh yeah, hey, that's
I haven't watched it yet. I forgot to watch it.
Oh, do you want us to tell you all about it? Because there's some really cool stuff in there.
Yeah, there's also a lot of noise. So yeah, the big stories I think are new Mario and Luigi game on the Switch, new Mario Party like Jamboree, supposed to have like just a bunch of new maps and like 20-player multiplayer online, like 20-player.
I don't understand how that's gonna work.
Yeah, kind of wild. And like a couple new maps too, or like returning maps rather from like Party 1 and 2, like nostalgia made there.
I think it's just 2 new ones. 2
and then the other big one is Metroid Prime 4. Finally, we got some footage. Like it looks like a Metroid Prime game. That's pretty much all I can say. Like teasing that the villain is someone from Hunters, which no one played. I don't think. Like
no. Yeah, and like
the DS game, like that attempted to be like a touchscreen FPS. Like what is happening?
So Metroid Prime 4 does look like a Metroid Prime game, and I kind of wish it didn't. Like, it's still like how to say this and not tick off all the fan people. The fact that it's still like such a low field of view.
I mean, that's kind of the point, right? It's FPS. It's supposed to be like you are in like you. They don't want you to be able to see everything. It's supposed to be you're lost on a planet where you feel suffocated and don't know where you're going and have to find it.
And I guess that's what I don't like. Like
you might just not be a fan of the game then. Like
correct. So let's me come clean. I have never played Metroid Prime games.
Well, you probably have like 5 more years, so go for it.
Hey, they gave a date for next year.
They did not give a date. They gave a whole year. They said it'll sometime in 2025.
They gave a window of next year.
12-month window.
Yeah, that's fine. That's honestly.
What would we get first? Metroid 4, GTA 6, or Elder Scrolls 6?
We're gonna get the Switch 2 first. It's gonna be like that awkward game at the end of the life cycle of a console. Like,
do we think that Prime 4 will be a launch title for the Switch 2?
I think it's going to be on both, and it's just going to run like absolute crap on the original Switch.
Yeah, I think so fair. Too. It's going to be the same deal as Breath of the Wild on the Wii U.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. It is like if you've ever seen an anime where some character sacrifices themselves and blows up, or like that is going to be your Switch when it attempts to run Metroid Prime 4. Like
absolutely. The other big thing that was announced that I'm very excited for is Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom.
Yeah, that was actually really cute. I saw that at first. I was like, this looks cash grabby. Like it looks like not high effort, but like the more they showed, like the art style is actually really cool. Like the puzzle.
Well, it's the same art style really as the Link's Awakening game.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that style. Yeah, like very much.
I was lukewarm on the style. I think the style works better for Echoes of Wisdom. Like, it looks like it's gonna like lend itself well to this upcoming game. But nonetheless, I'm so excited to just summon so many tables.
It's very like Scribble Knots kind of.
Yeah. And it's like it's. I think what's cool about this is they took the idea of like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom with like open. You have these abilities and you have an engine that supports doing a bunch of random stuff with these abilities. And they took that same idea and put it into what is kind of a 2D game, right?
Yeah,
like
isometric or whatever. Yeah. So Sheldon, you can see this. It's like you play as Zelda instead of Link.
Yeah.
I
saw a clip of this one.
Yeah. But you can like capture. You effectively can copy like anything you see in the world. You can scan it and then create copies of it, including enemies, and then like any object too, right?
Like
so you
Kirby.
Honestly, no.
If Kirby could vomit out the things he sucked up and turn them into allies,
it's Green Lantern.
Yeah, it's kind of Green Lantern. Yeah. Even Green Lantern can't make living things though. Like, it's pretty cool.
I think the stuff that he makes can move, or they make can move.
I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. It's a good analogy. Like, that was definitely like the unexpected one. Like,
yes,
all the other games that I wanted to play that came of this were like, that is from a franchise that I already knew I liked. This is unsurprising. The only surprising thing is that they're doing it at all.
Yep.
And this was pretty cool.
I'll have to check out this Tales of the Shire.
Oh yeah, like
saw that
Hobbit, Animal Crossing, like
yeah.
Okay, so like there was half a dozen games, and I can't remember all of them, that are basically trying to do New Horizons.
Yeah, the Hello Kitty one.
Yeah, exactly. The
Hello Kitty one.
Yeah, we were scrubbing through it because it took an hour, and I wanted to watch this on lunch, and just like, oh, there's another Animal Crossing. Like, wow, doesn't stop there. I was like, they got a Hello Kitty skin in Animal Crossing. It's like, no, it's a whole new game. It just completely stole its style. Like,
and Nintendo players will get the super cute Animal Crossing New Horizons like game first.
Yes. But yeah, there's like half a dozen games. That are trying to do Animal Crossing New Horizons, and I'm like, this is cool, but I want the next Animal Crossing game. Obviously, it's not taken away from development, right? Different studios, but still, it doesn't feel icky, kind of.
You get one Animal Crossing game every half decade or so. That's how it works.
It's true.
Yeah.
I am sad. Of all the games that they showed, they did not show another game that I was excited for that also is doing an open world thing where you can craft stuff and build things. Fantasy Life wasn't shown, and that's a game that's coming out supposedly in back half of this year that I'm excited for and I want to play, and it wasn't there, and I'm sad.
I have never heard of that. Is it like a well-known franchise or
no? It's it's kind of niche. It was the first game was out on 3DS, and then this is like not a sequel necessarily, but like the next game in the franchise is coming out. It's been in other directs, like obviously it's been announced, but it's like a silly little RPG where you can just change jobs / classes, and you can do a bunch of stupid random things. Gotcha. Like be a paladin, be a woodworker, be a cook, be a mage, or be a fisher.
So basically Skyrim.
Kind of.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. Like I when I watch these directs, see like the first 5 seconds. If I see an anime character, I instantly skip it. If I see it, and if it looks like anything,
it is a cute chibi style.
Anything that even like might suggest it's weeb trash, I'm done with it immediately. I'm not even giving it a chance. And then after that, like generally, if I don't recognize the franchise or it doesn't blow me away visually, I'm also just done over.
Yeah.
Like
when you say weeb trash, do you mean like any JRPG?
I mean literally anything with big bug eyes. Yeah.
Oh, so it's more.
If they have spiky anime hair, and I don't recognize the spiky anime hair from something
that Romance Saga 2.
That Saga, yeah, I wasn't a whole fan of that. That was just like meh. What was the other thing that looked interesting that I was like, wow, this looks like generic like JRPG anime trash? I'm like, actually, hold on. It was the Fantasio,
yeah.
Fantasio.
That is exactly what I'm talking about. I saw that for about 10 seconds. I was like, absolutely not.
Formagia?
Not
Oh
Farmasia.
no, I did give one of them a chance because it was like it looked like it was trying to be a monster tamer thing, and it was like you grow.
You
your
grow a
monsters
plant that becomes a
around.
That's
wolf.
that Farmasia,
Yeah,
right?
That's
like,
Farmasia.
yeah, like corn wolf or something like that. Like,
It looks very Dungeon Quest.
yeah,
Or Dragon
Yeah.
Quest.
if
Dragon
they
Quest,
immediately show a cool premise, great. But like generally, is like, yeah, I don't know. There was one where is this tiny like baby anime girl in a tiny skirt, and it's just like, and they called her a woman. Just and I was like, no, that is a child.
No,
and I have no interest in this game. Moving on. Like,
yes,
Yo,
correct.
Turok is coming to the online.
yeah, the 64
Oh
stuff.
man,
I can't
I
convince
love me
myself to
some
pay a
Turok.
subscription fee for an emulator. That's just like, I burn money on stupid stuff, but I can't convince myself to do that. Like,
Fantasian Neo Dimension. That's one heck of a name. But that looks like generic anime JRPG trash. But I'm like, well, hold on. It's kind of a neat premise where like you can change the direction of your attacks and like arc it into multiple enemies, and also just put them in another dimension. I'm like, what is this nonsense? It's kind of cool though.
Cool, but I'm not buying a game for that. Like,
No, I need to see more of it. Like, I'm like, this is. I'm curious.
there was
I'll give you
one,
the time of day.
Honestly, I'll skip most indie stuff too. There was one indie game that looks pretty cool, and I've forgotten the name of it now. It was like just a very pretty side-scrolling platformer. Where the main character was some kind of tentacle creature. Honestly, I don't really know.
Mio.
That was it. That's exactly it. Yeah, it was some acronym.
It's Memories in Orbit.
It looked like very
That's-
artsy. Like maybe you would lose its appeal once I got over how pretty it looked, but it looked very
pretty.
cool. And like if it controls well, I would be interested in that. But
It looked very flowy. I was kind of impressed. I was like, ooh, yeah,
Watercolory.
that's on my list too.
in general, I have limited time to play video games. Like I if it's from a franchise, I know I at least know that I'll probably like the premise at least.
Yeah. But also, I have I have game DHD, and I will just play whatever.
at least for
I
5 minutes. Like,
At least for 5 minutes. Yeah, it's true. And that's my character flaw. I bounce around too many games, which means I buy too many games. But
at least you have them if you ever want to play them. At least you have them.
Don't stop. Don't give me any sort of benefit to this. But yeah, it was a pretty good direct overall, I think. Like, as far as Nintendo Directs goes, like that's a positive one. I think. Anyway, back to the video games. I'm also on Paper Mario, and I'm still not very far, but I'm actually playing that one consistently, unlike what I just said. So, what about you, Sheldon? What are you playing?
I picked up Kingdom Come on the Switch, and it was on sale, so I got it.
What is
it's a like medieval survival kind of game.
Deliverance? Nope.
Yeah, Deliverance.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's been alright so far. There's a learning curve.
it is on steep sale on Steam as well.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
like
this is-
survival kind of stuff.
Is this is like a first person medieval looking game?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember this from weird.
It's like came out like 2017 or something. I think it's a little bit
It
older.
says 2018. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. I want to know how that goes.
It's been alright so far. I've died a few times because I just didn't know what I was doing, and figuring out the UI is pretty. It's not too friendly, new user friendly.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah,
That's really fun when games just say, "Don't play me."
that's been about it though. Lately, for new stuff, I got to get in mindset for Malamar and make my team.
Yeah, I have to also go make a team for that.
Or
and...
Inkay, whatever one we're in.
Okay, is it Inkay or Inky? Because like I understand it's spelled Inkay.
Yeah,
Right?
Very awkward to say. I feel like Inky Games is easier. Like
Inky.
I
flows.
kind of just want to
Inky.
say Inky Games.
okay, Inky.
Well, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Sierra Dawn, tell me how to pronounce
Right.
Pokemon names, right? It's one of the casters. But yeah, the Inkay Games. Yeah,
I don't know. They like this is the same franchise that does Pokemon, right? Like, despite that being like incredibly awkward. So
But yeah, but they have an accent mark on the E to distinguish.
And this has an AY, which is universally pronounced one way in the English language.
Well, hold on, because like CAY is pronounced key.
So on YouTube it says
CAY
Inkay.
is pronounced K. KEY is key. Is
No, CAY like the islands. The keys.
CAY. Is that pronounced key? Really?
Yeah. It's disgusting. I hate English. Stop.
Well, on YouTube,
Tell me.
on this How to Pronounce Pokemon Names channel, it says Inkay.
I hate that. Looking at okay, thank you. Looking at the dictionary results on Google, it says key or K, so that's helpful. It does say key first though.
There you go.
I don't want to say Inkay.
Inkay.
Just saying. I want to say Inky.
I'm gonna correct you on every video then.
Hey, that's engagement. All right. Is that an episode?
I think we can call it there.
Now that we've started the infighting amongst us, we should stop the episode.
So that we can say what we really mean after we stop recording.
Hey, I want to say to y'all who are listening, watching, sticking with us in the last like month and a half or so, we've been on an extremely rocky schedule. Also, Rowan, we didn't record anything in person. Big boohoo.
Shame.
The few people who interact with us actually wanted that, and it would be fun. But too bad. Thank you for sticking with us and hanging out and still continuing to watch us or whatever, right?
I need y'all to go back to New Orleans, record something, then you can come back home.
Record us eating a beignet. But yeah, no, honestly, thank you all for if you're here, if you've made it to this far in the episode. Thanks so much, and look forward to the Inkay Games matches from me and Sheldon. It'll be super fun, and who knows, maybe we'll actually do something with this channel besides just this podcast. But that's big hope.
No, and that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, and we don't want to do that. I don't do well under pressure. Anywho, thank you all for hanging out with us, and thanks to Rob KCA for the use of our theme song Golden on Game Corner. I have been Harrison. You can find me online at row_ixon in all the places, but also here. Rowan, who are you?
I'm Rowan. You can't find me anywhere except for here. I am not doing a Malamar thing this season either, so I will be living vicariously through you guys. And Sheldon, who are you?
You're going to be grinding away at the
locals.
Like, gee,
locals.
Yeah, he's going to be grinding.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm Sheldon. Captain Unova, Captain_Unova on the Twitter. Yeah. Links are down below in the links.
Yes.
Tree.
And together we've been the Game Corner. You can find us the Game Corner VGC, Game Corner. The Game Corner. I should remember this. Goodness, I need to go fix that. Both on the socials and in my brain. But like Sheldon said, everything is down below in the link tree. And I also to clean that up too. Really, I have a lot of work to do outside of just recording this podcast that I need to do for this podcast.
Good luck.
Yell at me, YouTube. Yell at me, please.
Do it.
Thank you. And until next time, no matter what you decide to play, press start and game on. Bye!